Hello folks, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to do basic assembly. So we're still in the Onshape learning pathways under Onshape fundamentals, and then under Onshape fundamentals, if you pop down to Onshape Assemblies, in this course we're going to start with exercise basic assembly. Feel free to look at the other stuff if you want to. Hopefully if you're in my class, you've taken a look, you know that we're going to be working with fastened and cylindrical mates in an assembly, so we're clicking parts together, as I said. We're going to be observing how things can be simulated in Onshape to figure out how they work together, the different parts, and how they might work in the real world. So for our first exercise here with assemblies, we're looking at the hydraulic clamp assembly. I'm just going to refer to it as basic assembly. If I close out of these two tabs, because we don't really need them, and I'll come back to that one later. We hit next, and the first thing it asks you to do is to make a copy of basic assembly. Now, I've already done this. I'm just going to do it again to show you. We can make a copy of it, and I'm just going to make a copy. We could start working in here, but as we've been working in my classes, I've been asking you to do everything in one doc, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you're not in my class, you could go ahead and hit create assembly. If you are in my class, let's go back to our document. I've gone ahead and already created a new assembly called it basic assembly. This is what the assembly panel looks like. You see the tools look different. And over here where we usually have features when we're in a part studio, it's saying instances. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this into here. So I can go ahead and close it because I've already made that copy. I'm going to go ahead and hit insert. And instead of taking something from my current document, I'm going to go to other documents. In other documents, I can find that copy of the thing that I just made. It's this one right here. It's still generating the preview. You can see I copied one earlier. And I'm going to click on hydraulic components here, just at the top. That means I'm going to bring the whole part studio, and I can hit the check. I've brought one instance of each part from that part studio into this assembly. Again, assembly is where we're going to be clicking parts together, making things happen. So if we take a look, their first step for you is to do what I just told you, and then we fix the cylinder. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to right click up here and fix the cylinder. That means we can't move it anymore. You'll notice I moved everything else but the cylinder. It's because we want to keep this right where we imported it, or we brought in the instance of the part. These parts aren't editable. They're editable in that other document that I made a copy of, but in here we can just click them together and see how they would be mated together, almost like Legos or Connects or any toy that you play with where you're assembling things. And again, we're going to simulate how they connect in the real world. First step after that is to copy and paste the O-ring. That's easy. You could right click and copy and paste, or you can Command C, Command V. We got two of them now. I'm going to make it a little bit more separate. After that, it's asking us to create a fastened mate connection between the top of this part and the top of this part. So if I go in here, up along the top, I got fasten mate, the shortcut's M. If I mouse over this right here, I want to make it so that my fasten mate connection is right along the top here. Once I have that, I can move over to this plunger piece, and boom, they are together. If I close out of fasten 2, because I don't need to fasten something together now, move this around, they're stuck together. They've been fastened, mated together. Now, the next two things that it asks you to do is put these O-rings in these grooves. If I click on fasten mate again, because we are using a fasten mate, I'm clicking on the ring to get the center of the ring. And then if I zoom in on this, what you'll see is there's 3 dots. I don't want the top dot, I don't want the bottom dot, I want the middle dot where that triad is, the blue, green, and red. That means that my O-ring should be right in that groove that we see right there. That's good. I can hit the check. One more fasten mate, going to use that shortcut M, and then boom, done. I have my O-rings on my cylinder. Now I can't move this, but I could try to drag things. You'll see they're all stuck together. It means they've been clicked together, they're fastened, they're not going to go anywhere. The last thing that we got to do is we need to place this plunger within here. There's 2 ways you can do this. I think the easy way is to make a connection here and mouse around and make a connection here. they ask us to use a cylindrical mate. So that means it's going to go up and down and be able to rotate around, just kind of like this little icon that we see right here. This right here, they've actually made it so that there is a section view. Let's do that. So if I click on section view, I can click on the section plane. Let's just click on this. If I drag into here, I can see the inside of this part, the inside of the cylinder. If I do it on the wrong side, I might have to say, hey, don't cut through these two parts. So let's just do that. Let's exclude them right now, make our lives a little bit easier, and then we can hit the check. Now it's asking us to make it so that the mate connection for the cylindrical points are this bottom part here and the base of my cylinder on the inside there. Let's grab that cylindrical mate. That's a revolute mate, a cylindrical mate. You'll notice that the shortcut was the same. You can always change the type of mate connection you're doing right here, this drop down. Cylindrical mate, we want this one. And we want the center of the circle here, this one right here. Again, another weird quirk, you'll notice that if I move back here, the top of the plunger is not connected to the actual plunger anymore. Basically, when you're making a mate connection, when you're doing any sort of mate connecting, it's only going to initially show you the connection between the two objects which you created mate connectors with. If I hit the check, boom, there goes our little plunger swing arm top here. And if I drag up and down, it's not going left and right, it's staying within this cylinder that we have right here. That's great, that's what we want to do. We have one more step, however. We need to include some limits. We want to make it so that the plunger doesn't kind of escape the little shell we have here. Again, we want to make it so that we're simulating what it would look like in real life. Click on limits, and we're just going to copy and paste in what they got right here. So Z minimum, -40, max 0. I'm just back in that cylindrical mate we made. -40, 0. If the numbers don't work for some odd reason on the first time, feel free to swap them around. So now I have a limit. It's only going to go up a certain amount. It's only going to go down to the bottom. It won't plunge all the way through the bottom. That is basic assembly. Hopefully pretty quick, pretty straightforward. Hopefully my timing is pretty decent for you. If you have any questions, throw something in the comments. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Turn off the section view. Have a great day, and let me know if you have questions about 3D modeling in Onshape or any other application. I'm thinking about breaching into other apps, so let me know if you have questions about one thing or another. Take care now, and have a good one. Bye-bye.